We're recording. Yeah,
right
we're going.
Dude. Okay. Yeah, man. So that was pretty cool that you got on that other podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. We were featured on the We Need to Talk channel. Grateful for that. Alan is a great content creator, and I'm super stoked that he chose our video to respond to. That was really cool. So yeah, check him out. Check him out on We Need to Talk. It was he and Courtney Michelle, who's also another podcaster. She was doing a reaction to a reaction that I did of an interview of her on his channel. So yeah, it was cool to see that. And I saw it live too. They did a live reaction, and I just happened to tune in just as they were getting to the point of, sort of talking about the video that I created. So it was a shock to see, but it was really cool and
pretty amazing experience.
Again, yeah, very grateful for that.
And what was the topic again?
So we were talking about the wall, the concept of the wall and sexual marketplace value, right? And so, I don't want to go into too many details, but basically a woman's sexual marketplace value starts to decline as she gets older. And that point of when it's on the decline is referred to as the wall. And it's typically agreed upon that happens at around let's say age 30. It varies from woman to woman. It's not a universal thing, but there's some truth behind that concept. A lot of women don't like to hear that. They don't want to hear that their value declines as they get older. But again, we're not really talking about the value of a woman. We're talking about a very specific value, right? Your sexual marketplace value. And we have to be honest with ourselves and understand that, there's a reason why the makeup industry is $1 billion industry, right? There's a reason why the store is called Forever 21 and not Forever 51, right?
True that.
We put value on a woman's youth, her beauty, and her fertility. And so there's a point in a woman's life where she gets older and that value starts to decline, but it's only that specific value. It's not your value, as a friend or as a member of your community or a member of your church or your value at work or your value as a sister, mother, none of that matters, or none of that is tied to the whole sexual marketplace value and the wall concept. Those are separate values. And so, yeah, I talked about that in the video, and it's really cool. I think you should check it out,
Will do, man. Definitely, man.
Yeah.
I like how you spoke on the, you're like, this does not affect the intrinsic value of a woman.
Yeah. And I use the word intrinsic. Some people might disagree with my use of that word because I believe there are people who would say the intrinsic value of a woman is her ability to bear children, right? Because the term intrinsic means built in, but I would disagree with that, right? I don't think a woman's intrinsic value is tied to her ability to reproduce. I think that's a kind of old way of thinking, maybe. But yes, I did make the distinction between sexual marketplace value and other types of value, like your human value, right, is not the same as your sexual marketplace value. So some people conflate the two and they think, oh, you're telling me my value as a woman is less at 40 than it was at 20. And no, we're not saying that, but we are saying that your value in the sexual marketplace, which is dictated by the market, it's not dictated by you. It's dictated by the consumers of a woman's beauty, youth, and fertility, and those consumers are men. Just like any other, product in the marketplace, the value is dictated by the consumers of that product. So yes, your sexual marketplace value does diminish as you get older. But again, does not have anything to do with your other value as a human, right? So,
which let's be real, this is fact.
I mean,
if they look at the if they look at that statement, with in reality, with transparency and reality, it's a fact.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
agreed.
But women typically don't want to hear that.
No, of course not.
They don't want to hear that any of their value is slowly diminishing over time as they get older. but it's a reality. Young girls don't have to recognize that reality because they haven't hit the wall yet.
Yeah, they're still in their prime.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
To them, they're never gonna get old, right? They're always gonna be young. They're always going to be wanted. They have a mindset of abundance, and so, and not to say that older women aren't wanted. It's just your level of want is lower than it was at 45 than it was at 25, right? Let's just be completely honest. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That's good stuff, man.
it was a great video.
It is.
And yeah, check it out on our channel. And if you want to see the reaction that Courtney did to what I had to say, it's on the We Need to Talk channel. Great content creator. He does a lot of interviews of young ladies. And the subject matter is typically, about relationships and dating and that sort of thing. And so, yeah, he does great work. So I definitely recommend checking him out.
Yeah, it's time goes fast, and I think young women need to realize that, young men as well, and it's like that's why you can't just focus on your physical appearance, your physical beauty. Like you need to, focus on the intellectual side of things, your spirit, your heart, and really, we were talking about this the other day,
Yep.
Tom, and like young men and women, just some advice, would be focus on a person's heart more than their physical beauty, because I know as men, when we're younger, we're like, man, she's so hot,
Right.
she's so hot. He maybe even women say he's so hot, and it's like, okay, yeah, but what's his heart like?
Okay.
What's her heart like?
To kind of cater off with what he was just saying in regarding abundance. I mean, that applies to the same thing that we were discussing before.
Yes.
Is abundance, it really kind of factors in multiple different ways. When people are young, they're looking at abundance, whether that be in a relationship, friends, whatever, versus you're going to with what you were saying there, DT, about, focusing on someone's heart. That just tightens up that group. Whether it be relationships that you potentially would have, or friends that you would have, because you're actually focusing on what is matters and what's important. So great tangent there about focusing on someone's heart, because I mean that's some real stuff as well.
Oh yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah, and when you're young, like you said, that mindset of abundance, it's you feel like you've got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
All right. And things are always going to be, fun and sure, young
Life's
people
never going to get away from you.
Right. And then there comes a point where you realize, wow, time moves is fast, right? It moves fast. And I gotta make some choices. I gotta, get my shit together or it's going to get away from me. So, I think every person comes to that realization at some point, that it's not, we don't have an endless amount of time. But the younger you are, you kind of, you haven't grasped that concept yet.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like something else that Tom said the other day when we were coming home. We played some tennis yesterday, which was really fun, man. Like been getting into, I think we've played 2 weeks now, in 2 different locations, which is fun. I kind of like going to different locations. That's really cool. We played in Clearwater, out by the beach a couple weeks ago, and then this time we played at HCC on a clay court.
Okay.
Which is really fun, man. Like, and it absorbs the knees a little bit better. You don't feel it as much on your joints.
Yeah.
And it's
a savior for me.
Is it still a regulation to be on clay? Can you professionally play on clay court?
I think they still play some of the courts. I mean, I could be wrong here, but I believe some of the courts in the pros over in Europe are hard clay courts.
Okay. And it doesn't affect like the bounce of the ball, because I know
it potentially could, because you think about it, if you're playing on a court that is has been played on a little bit, where the clay is not completely smooth, like when you first start playing, if it hits a little ridge there, I mean, it could take it could alter the trajectory of the ball. But
gotcha.
no big deal.
All right.
Man, it's so much fun though, man. I want to get you out there, man. Like that was really cool. Man.
I don't know about
really
me playing
enjoy it.
tennis.
It's fun. It can be
It's
exhausting.
gonna be worse than me playing golf. And Tom, you've seen that. You've seen that.
Oh man, that's just like a painting right
Disaster. Disaster.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm much with the golf anymore, but I'm really enjoying this tennis run that we're on, man.
Yeah.
Like I want to keep that up,
there. Yeah. Keep
I actually got to get some fresh tennis balls, man, because that makes a huge difference. That bounce, like Tom brought some yesterday, and the ones we used last week, man, they just didn't have that bounce like these ones did.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
man, you got to get you want to hear that can, that tss. You open it, man. You open that can, you get that. That's some fresh tennis balls right there,
Yeah.
man.
Nice.
Something to be said about opening it up that first time. And you're
I'm
like,
telling you.
all right,
Didn't you
yeah,
say
these-
that Kelsey was trying to open up the tennis balls before or something like that?
Yeah. So I had bought, a tube of them, I don't know, a couple days prior, and she's trying to open up my truck. I'm like, no, what you doing? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. These need to be fresh for the day.
She didn't understand.
Yeah, no. Got home from tennis, and she's like, so you opened them, did you? Like, yes, I did.
Yeah, at the right time.
Yeah.
It's just a great way to get like a workout in and not realize how much you're really working out.
Sure.
Because you're just, you're chasing a ball. So like before you know it, an hour and a half goes by, and you're like, dang man, I just, burned off a lot of calories here, like,
Disclosure,
nice.
my legs are already sore.
yeah. Oh bro, I'm super sore, man.
Yeah.
I am super sore, dude.
Yeah, Tom,
Like,
you're not using that Peloton, man.
Yeah, I got on it the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
First time in a while.
Yeah.
I need to, you and my wife are very right in that aspect. I mean,
Yeah, it's a very convenient thing to have. I love the Peloton bike.
Yeah.
I've heard you speak about it before.
Dude, it's one of the best investments I've ever made. Seriously.
Have you tried the new workout that they have where you're kind of like riding on, it's like kind of like a digital track, and you got to switch lanes and all that kind of
I
stuff?
have not seen that. No.
Yeah, so I'll have to show you before I leave.
Okay.
But it's somewhere. I ended up stumbling across it, and it's different, So I thought it was cool instead of just having
to
someone.
switch lanes. That's pretty dope.
Huh.
Yeah, you control it all with the knob, and that kind of stuff. To change the resistance, and there's times you have to speed up, slow down. I thought it was cool. It was
That's
very
pretty awesome. Yeah, like an interactive sort of like
different. Yeah.
digital. There's no instructor, right? It's just kind of like.
No. You go through kind of like this, if you will, like a tutorial, and it just, and you just go.
Cool. Very cool. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. But yeah, I love that bike, man. It gets the heart going, dude. So I've heard people say, well, why don't you just get like a real bike and go outside? I'm like, dude, you can't build a hill as steep as what you can build on that fucking Peloton, pardon my language. But yeah, you can't go those same speeds, and you can't go as steep, especially here in Florida. I mean, there's no mountains here, there's no hills here, and then trying to go that fast in a controlled environment, where you have like pedestrians and traffic and all that, you can't do it. So this bike sort of gives you the ability to build a crazy intense workout, right? And it's in the comfort of your own home, and it's it's just very convenient. I've had the bike for over 3 years, and it's really the best investment in my personal health that I've ever made.
Man, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you want something that you enjoy.
Oh yeah.
Like you got to find a workout that you really enjoy that's not like working out.
Yep.
You're actually having fun.
Sure.
And then through that, like you eventually, you're building up your endurance, you're building up your muscles, and then it makes it easy to go to the gym. We were just talking about that the other day, me and Tom. Like it makes it easy after you like kind of got that endurance up. You can go hit the gym, pump out a quick workout, but your main focus for you is your Peloton.
Yeah.
So as long as you keep getting on that Peloton, you're all right.
Yeah. And I have a gym membership. I go to the gym too, but I brought it up because, like you said, that when you do it, it affects other things. It makes it easier to do other things.
Yep.
Like play tennis and not have sore legs. Right, Tom?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you do the Peloton more, you could go play tennis and you'll be fine. You'll be like, oh, this is easy.
I'll get there, man. I'm still working on it
Yeah.
day by day.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, but when we were coming back from playing tennis yesterday, we also went to a diner. We went to this diner over on Florida Avenue called Tripp's Diner. pretty good spot, man.
Yeah,
Me
good
and my
food.
dad been making it like a tradition to go there like every Monday.
Nice.
And then, you know, I brought Tom by there, and man, you know, just, yeah, good food, good service, you know, good diner. But anyways, we're on our way back to John's house, and we were talking about like friends and talking about how, you know, these days, and I'm pretty sure you've probably focused on this for a long time, is like he focuses on like quality of friends, not quantity of friends.
Absolutely.
And I was like, man, you know, that's where it's at, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just really excited because, you know, Tom's a great guy, you're a great guy, John's a great guy, you know, and it's like, man, we got like a good core of guys, you know, that we can, you know, like depend on each other, man.
I agree. And that goes to a quote that I like. I forget who said it, but you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It might be Andrew Tate. Shout out to Andrew Tate, another great content creator, but and a great man altogether. But yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that statement. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So it is about quality over quantity, right? For sure. When you're young, you want quantity. You just want to be in the mix. You want
everybody to like you.
You want to know as many people as you possibly can.
You think that's where it's at,
right?
You know, the more people I know, you know, the happier I'll be. Or
exactly.
You know, I don't know, but yeah, you're right, man. But you know, also you want to have family and friends that you can grow with.
Sure.
You know, you can evolve with, and there's certain people that in your life that you reach like roadblocks with. And it's like, you know, it's just like, man, you know, it's like in not everybody can go where you're going. So you kind of got to like, at some point, you got to let go.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, not saying that they might not ever come back into your life or whatnot. You know, of course you forgive them, you know, and all that jazz. But you got to let go so you can bring in the new friends, bring in the new energy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
You know, like,
I think that goes back to, I had mentioned this on a previous show of, you know, understanding where, like, for those people that you may need to let go in life, right?
Yes.
That, you know, it's not anything to like go at from a negative level. It's more, at least on my end, I look at it more as a constructive thing. Constructive for both parties, meaning that the idea of parting ways is to ultimately better yourself primarily, but with the hopes that they're going to be better in, say, X amount of months, you know, that they're going to be able to figure out, well, all right, well, this said friendship or relationship, whatever it may be, didn't work out, and they actually take that step back to look at themselves and realize, here are the core issues that I have internally, and how do I address that going forward? So I am a better man.
Great point. Yeah.
Speaking of, is there anybody in your life, either one of you, that, you know, you would have like right now, you know, you need to make a relationship like right with? Is there anybody that, you know, there's some bad blood out there, you know, that maybe, you know?
I mean, I could go ahead and jump in here first.
Go ahead, Tom.
So I fortunately, I guess I'm going to kind of answer this just in a little different angle, but to answer that, yes, but I've already done that. And it was actually with my brother. So this was, I don't know, 10 years ago. Flew up to Wisconsin for my mother's passing, and I was staying with my brother, and my brother was going through some severe hard times. And my brother and I, growing up, we didn't really connect very well. You know, he was always 2 years older than me, always let me know that, you know, and, you know, it just, you know, it was kind of the, you know, I was the youngest and whatever. So, but, you know, it was just never great. And there was one night we ended up coming back. It's actually the night of the funeral. We came back to his house, and he had been struggling financially, you know, to the point where the power was shut off on his house. Coming from my mom's funeral, it was
Wow.
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And you know, my brother was like really proud about, you know, trying to make that attempt about, you know, Tommy's gonna come stay with me. Everyone calls me Tom now, but he still calls me Tommy. But we get back to the house, and all that anger, you know, and I'm sure emotion from that day just kind of boiled over. And the next thing you know, he and I are virtually strangling each other in the middle of our kitchen. It got physical, and you know, like I'm gonna go at him, he's gonna go at me, and there's no stop. And there was a moment where he looked at me and I looked at him, and we just stopped. And then at that point, that was the moment that things changed. And I was like, dude, I need to be a better brother to you. Wow. Like with what we're doing, this is just going to damage us going forward. You know, so let me be better, but you be better as well, you know, and whatever we're going through right now, you know, we could fix that. That's easy. You know, it's just, how do we make that next step?
Wow.
So that's, you know, I guess what I had to add there, but you know, I fortunately made that change, or that correction, if you will, a number of years back. And now my brother and I, we talk, well, my family in general, we don't talk too often, but you know, like I talk to my brother just as much probably as what I talk to my sister that just lives here in Florida, where the rest of my family, I all live in another state. So, you know, it was a huge change.
Yeah.
A very beneficial change for myself.
And it's awesome that you caught that.
Yeah.
Like
well,
that.
I tried to. I mean, I'm not perfect.
That,
that's for sure.
Yeah, of course. None of us are, man. But you know, at least you caught it, and you want to make things better.
Yeah.
You put that line in the sand right there. You know, like, hey, you know, we need to get better.
Yeah.
This ain't right.
There you go.
No, it was far from right. So anyway,
Good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I don't think I have a relationship that I need to like reconcile, you know. My dad and I, we kind of need to get together and sort of be closer, and we've started to make moves towards that. He reached out to myself and my sister recently, and he was kind of distraught about the fact that he doesn't get to spend a lot of time with his grandkids.
is he still up north?
Yeah, he's still in Brooklyn. Yep.
Okay.
And so we've decided to bring him down to Florida. So we're flying him down here. We're gonna set him up in a hotel so he can spend some time.
Dude, that's a big step, man.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
With my son, and my sister has 2 kids, and so he'll get to spend some time with his grandkids, right? And then we also set up weekly Zoom calls with us and the grandkids and my dad, so that he can talk to them and they can have some FaceTime with him and get to know him better, right? So yeah, we're trying to make more of an effort, because my dad's, you know, he's not getting any younger. He's 66 now. And he's up in New York basically all alone. You know, he said, you know, if something were to happen to him, he lives by himself. No one would know. Right. And so that's another thing that we decided, was that, you know, I'm going to be his emergency point of contact, right? At least one of his emergency points of contact, even though I'm far away. I'm here in Florida and he's in New York. But if something goes wrong and, you know, he's hospitalized or whatever, I'll fly up there. No problem. You know, I'll just get up there and go and take care of him. But, you know, his siblings are all either older or, you know, passed away. So he's really in a spot where he feels like he's alone. And, you know, that's my dad. That's my dad. I got to do something. I gotta, you know, I hate to feel that he feels alienated from his family. That was never his choice. You know, he and my mom separated when I was about 7. And he's always wanted to be involved. He just, you know, kind of
Just didn't know how to go about it.
Right. You know, we left New York. You know, he said that so we recently had a Zoom call where we all talked, and he's like, you know, you guys left New York. I didn't leave New York. I didn't leave you guys. You guys left New York. And so, you know, why is it so hard for me to stay in touch with you? Or why is it so hard for you to stay in touch with me? Why can't I be closer to my grandkids? And he made a good point. You know, it wasn't his fault that we kind of fell out of touch, you know? And so I think it's on all of us to make a better effort to be in touch. And I think him included, right? So we want to get him down here so he can, you know, spend some time with his grandkids and get to know them. But yeah, it's a tough situation. You know what I'm saying? And as you know, as he gets older, as we all get older, we start to realize how much time we've kind of let slip, and we can never get that back.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. You can catch all of our episodes on YouTube and Spotify at Better Gents Podcast, and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Better Gents Pod. Thank you and take care.